Arcturian group message. Via Marilyn Raffaele. August 13, 2023. Welcome, dear readers. It is our intention that these messages flow to you on steamers of love that will help you to better understand and move through the chaotic aspects of the ascension process. Know and trust that all is proceeding according to a divine plan meant to evolve Earth and all upon her out of the collective illusion that has held mankind in bondage for eons. In order to do this, erroneous beliefs that still support and maintain separation must be seen, recognized, and no longer be energetically fed. Everyone, those spiritually awake as well as those who are not, are starting to recognize the deception underlying so much that has been accepted as truth. Evolution is causing increasingly more individuals to begin acknowledging and trusting their intuition rather than continuing to blindly follow experts, politicians, and religious leaders, priests, ministers, rabbis, shamans, channels, who cannot present anything higher than their own state of consciousness, which is often less evolved than that of their followers. However, know there are many spiritual teachers working from a very high level on Earth at this time. Always trust your intuition as to which ones are working from a consciousness of truth and which ones are working from three-dimensional ego. Most of you have reached the point at which you must become aware of and clear issues of control. We do not speak of control as exerted by bullies and dictators, but of the control energy many individuals continue to express through every aspect of their life. This commonly accepted type of control manifests as often forced actions taken even with the simplest of issues that support the person's concepts of what determines safety, correctness, and accepted three-dimensional norms. It is time for every student of truth to honestly ask themselves, why do I believe and often insist that things must be a certain way? My way? Is it because I believe that if things don't go as I believe they should, everything will be chaos or somehow incorrect? A certain level of desire for control remains ingrained in almost everyone's consciousness because when the world was less evolved, control was necessary for survival, but those times are finished. Spiritual evolution requires the surrender of ego-based personal control, which begins to happen automatically as a person truly realizes that being the individualization of divine consciousness means that God can do nothing other than express itself in, as, and through its human expression if allowed. You who read these messages are evolved enough to begin handing personal control over to the real you. Unless you still believe that the omniscient divine reality you are must be told what you need, want, and how to go about doing it. Get out of the way and allow yourselves to accept and receive the reality of your own divine self rather than continuing with attempts to control everything in your life according to three-dimensional concepts of how things should or must be. Issues of personal control affect every aspect of daily living, from what you should eat to how the world must work in order to be right. A person often doesn't even realize that they are controlling, but rather believe that they are simply helping to make some situation or person better by insisting on their way, which is why it is imperative to be very honest with oneself regarding intention. Every person is an individualization of God, divine consciousness, which means that every person has had varying experiences over the course of many lifetimes from which they have developed personal preferences. Human ego, having no awareness of reality, believes that it is in charge of making things happen for self and others, and in order to do this, must draw its information from the three-dimensional collective consciousness, where beliefs of duality, separation, and the belief in two powers reign supreme. Letting go of personal control can be very frightening because being in control brings a sense of security and safety. Most control issues are formed of uncleared old energy that you brought with you into this life. Other than power-loving dictators, control issues usually arise from fears and insecurities accumulated in and still active from past lives. Example, a life in which you were a slave. Most everyone has had one or several of these, required to perform perfectly in a certain way or be severely punished. Moving beyond three-dimensional control does not eliminate preferences. Every person has free will and is entitled to do things and live their life in ways that work best for them. Parents must maintain a certain amount of control for the safety of their children. Every household needs guidelines in order to keep things running smoothly. However, control issues are often excused by the controller as being a preference, which is why a person must be very honest with themselves when they feel the need to push their personal beliefs about how things must be done, even with the most insignificant of issues. In the beginning, letting go of personal control may not go smoothly. Almost everyone still carries some degree of control over energy simply because it has been security and defense through lifetimes. Moving beyond three-dimensional issues of control is a process of awareness, of being alert to every automatic urge to step in and control something without regard to the choices of others. It is about leaving behind the belief that things will fall apart if you do not step in and take charge. It is about replacing fear with trust, allowing oneself to receive from within, and most importantly it is about the intention to once and for all clear these old no longer serving energies. There is a grand picture unfolding beyond everything you have been taught and lived up to now. As you learn to let go of attempting to control every aspect of your life and that of others, you will find life becoming easier and easier because you will be allowing it, the self-sustaining, self-maintaining real you, to express itself as what is needed while eliminating that which is not. Rest in reality. We are the Arcturian group.